have a look at it now. So this is my little shell script I created, or a shell execution on the GitLab-ci pipeline. What is GitLab-ci? GitLab-ci is a part of GitLab. GitLab is a Git hosting platform. You find it at gitlab.com, but you can also execute it or run it on your own cloud or on your own system. So it is basically a community edition of GitLab, which allows you to host it yourself. You can buy an enterprise edition, or you can use the software as a service on gitlab.com. And for this exercise, I got the ultimate trial on gitlab.com. There's also a free edition. I use that one. And I create my CI/CD pipeline using GitLab-ci. And this one is to prepare an exercise for my course. I have a course for Git, and I have a course for GitLab. And yeah, you can follow me now how I create the exercises for this course, which is pretty interesting. So you got some real inside view. And so far I created some pipelines, and let's see how it looks like in GitLab. I did it 4 hours ago. I had lunch in between. We got here for jobs in 3 pipelines, and we got this pipelines called build, test, and deploy. The deployment is usually bring some stuff to a server. The build one is just build the stuff. Test one, you can run additional tests, and deploy, you bring something to a server. In GitLab, it's fully configured automatically, so you can configure this by a file, and you can check out this file, or you can even edit it online. And this file is called gitlab-ci. gitlab-ci.yml. It has the YAML format. And you can use, for example, an edit to do it, or I never did it by git pod. I will test git pod now, which is ready to code development environment for your project, and you have a pipeline editor. I don't know which one is better, but maybe just let's test the pipeline editor. So yeah, let's have a look at the pipeline editor. I didn't check it out, so it's a good opportunity. I do not know when it came. Edit in pipeline editor. Okay, and here I can choose edit. I can choose visualize. There I can see which stages I created. I can validate it. Pipeline source, validate pipeline, which seems to be a good function. Okay. Here I see what is executed, so validation is okay. And I can view the merged YAML if I include stuff from another file. Now I'm going to edit. And I think this is a very basic script. I thought about some tasks to do, and I will create a branch for the task, I think. The second option to edit is here's my file. Of course, you can always also check it out. It's what we're gonna check it out later. I like to do stuff online today. Second opportunity is open in git pod. And this is git pod. I need to sign in, or I can continue. continue with GitLab, so use my login. Ref name is invalid. Update profile information. Company is, my company is Skills for Teams. I can create a new workplace, and this one could be executing shell. Gitpod is actually a full IDE, which is completely web-based, and you configure all your dependencies inside your code. So this takes a bit, but here I have it configured, and here it looks a bit like Visual Studio Code at this point. And I can configure it here. Now I wish, can I do a branch? So let's see if it's inside executing shell. Workspace, let's see if I can do a branch. Source control, commit. Oh, I want a branch. Branch, merge branch, create branch, branch name, and yeah, let's see what we can do with GitLab. And I want to do some basic stuff at that point. At one point, I want to do is create a file. I have a list of ideas what I can do by exercise, and one is running an sh script, and here is create a build info text file. And this is what I do: create text file. I will name this branch the branch that way, and hope no one is finding it when I perform the exercise. Otherwise, the people will have it. I have a new branch, and now I need to think about what do I need to do to create this file. I have this new branch, now I can publish it. So, branches in Git will not be explained in this session. If you have questions about it, it's basically another version of your source code. So, create it for file, create file, commit. So what do we need to do? I will create inside the build. I will create it. Now I give a stage and we create a new job which is called create file, and I will give it a stage where it's running. Stages, like you pass from one stage to another, like one is a test exercise, the next one is the deploy stage. For example, if you train for theater, you will not be on the main stage. At the end, you will train in some proof room, and the same concept here. So I will run it at the build stage. And what will I do? Let's say I will create a file, which is called, I do a script now at this point, and inside the script I can run anything which relies on my image. This is a Docker image in which all code will run. And BusyBox latest is a basic Linux image, and has basic Linux commands. So I will run touch, and I will name it build file txt. Now I need to know how to write. I think it's cat. I can use it by running a pipe. Echo build run. I will put it to build file.txt. And now I will. How do I show it? I forgot all the Unix commands. I think less. Show content of the file without breaks. I think it was less. I will do less. This one is okay. Build .txt. So I will create a new file, then I will see write build run into the build file txt. Maybe we include a new line here, and then I will show it with less, and let's see what this job will do. At this point I need to say it's automatically saving. I need to commit it. Oh, no stage to commit. I need to stage it. So Git has first you need to stage files, and then you can commit them. And this is what I will do now. And now I can sync changes. We'll push commits to my branch, and let's see what it's doing. I can go back to my gitlab-ci file now, gitlab.com, and then I will go to the training file, and this one was called shell execute. We're gonna find it here. GitLab executing shell. So executing shell, we can see we have a new branch, and it automatically triggered a build. That means now automatically our CI/CD server is running, and it will execute our jobs. And here we can have a look, and already the create file was executed, and let's see what it was doing. Build run. Okay. So it's not showing anything, as the echo does not print it to the build file. I will check it with unit. Put text to file. Bash. Let's see what it's going. Data file name. So I don't need to put the echo, I think. I just need to put the data, if it's right. I will check it. Let's see what happens if I just remove the echo, and this is data. What was cat? Linux command. Now I wish I actually have a shell here. Cat option file. So how is it working? Let's check the basic commands again. Display contents of a file with cat. View contents of multiple file. Okay, it's an editor. It can cat. Does it work? I will start my Linux here. I've got a Ubuntu subsystem, and I'm gonna test it in Ubuntu subsystem. CDI. So does cat x file name it does not work. Let's see if this one works. And put something to actually echo will write into the file, I guess. Yes, it will write into the file if I use one colon, it will one bracket. It will create a new file. If I use two, it's going to be create new file name. So this one should work. Let's see back at our script why it might not work. Echo build file txt and so maybe we did something wrong. Let's check back. Let's build file txt. Actually I just just read it the wrong way. So we have this build file txt running. So what is our task now? It's the task I planned. And one is create a build info txt file. Maybe it's wise to access the file now, which would be interesting. There's a function of it in GitLab, and this is called artifacts. So maybe we should choose GitLab documentation. Let's see what job artifacts do, and we can have pipeline artifacts and job artifacts. So we can store artifacts, and at this point I can add the path and define where it's stored, and that might be useful. Then I can access the file later. So we have one artifact which is called build file.txt. Expire in 1 week. That is okay for me. Like you don't have to store it for lifetime. You can just throw it away, and then it's gone. So we have this artifact, and now I will commit it. What is this one? Wrong mapping. It's a difficulty with YAML. So commit. Let's stage it. Store file in artifacts. Store build. So let's see what happens. Sync changes. Okay, let's see what happens. It's running, it's running. Let's have a look. It should be execute fast. Now I can see here what it's actually doing. It's putting, preparing Docker machine, getting a Docker image from the general Docker repository. Executing the script before running after script, and now it's uploading artifacts, and actually I think they will be uploaded to Google Cloud by default, but I'm not sure. And now I can see browse the job artifacts at this point, and with this I can see the build file.txt. Yeah, it's redirected, and let's look inside. We got this build run at this point. So maybe we can improve it a bit, and we can name it build is running at this point. And actually I like this to be a shell script, because I will do this course with a lot of different programmers, and I don't know which language they speak, if it's Java, if it's something else. So yeah, it is a good way to show people, because a lot of people can code shell. Yes, now I stage them directly. Now I got lazy. Yeah, too lazy to do it indirectly. So, and now it will run again. We had like 43 minutes execution time. And now it's running, and let's see if it's ready. Oh, it's playing around, which here it's the deploy stage. So build file, now it should look a bit different. Build file txt. Build is running. Now I could do any other stuff. So this is just an example for a log where I could, for example, work with variables, or maybe I want to just write down what the time is it running, which time is it running, or on which server, and then I will get actual time, and what's in Linux, I think it's time, display date time, constant, it is like date command. We have date, and we can give it a date format. I would like to have I think date time is okay. Yeah, it's okay for this one. So we're gonna use date. Let's see what date gives us. We can put just date to here. We have written it in. Actually, it's for me it's okay. So let's do echo. We don't need echo, we just do date time, and we use it into build file txt. So I will call this date time edit. Now I do yes. Yes again for the lazy people. So, and it will be running in CI/CD. Oh, it failed, it failed, it failed. I did something wrong. What did I do wrong? Code 127. And actually, yeah, of course, I used datetime instead of date. Yeah, datetime. I think it's a command in PHP. Yes. Run again. It automatically runs again. I can also trigger manually, which we can see. I need to put sync changes. And then we see it running, and it should take 40 seconds again. Should be pretty fast. And actually, we can follow it running in real time, which is yeah, pretty good. Here we see it's changing Docker now, and now everything worked fine. And we got this artifact build file txt, which we can download. And here it's the current date. What we also can do now is run the pipeline manually, like with this run pipeline command. And with run pipeline, I select the branch to run. And actually I did my changes in the create text file branch. So I will also execute the create text file branch, because the main branch doesn't know of my changes where I was actually creating the text file. Actually, I've Stephen. I was a bit too concentrated, so I didn't check the chat. And I've got Stephen and Les is the blocking command. Yeah, I should have listened to you earlier, Stephen. Do you have questions or ideas what to implement next in my pipeline? Yeah, Stephen, what is the idea to implement next one? Should I do Java, Python, PHP, or maybe have a look at the git variables? You don't know anything about Python. Me neither. That is well, I started to learn some Python, but I don't know. So maybe the next task could be, this one was running correctly, create file. I need to do it anyway. So next task is hello world in Python. So maybe I need to do hello world Python. I will be really lazy doing it. And we need Python 3, and I think hello world in Python is really easy. It's called print hello world. So, but now I need to execute Python, and for this one Python image for GitLab. First, I will need to create another branch. And for this one, I'm going to switch back to my main branch. Create branch, rename branch. I don't want to merge. I want to, let's see, I've committed anything. Check out to main. Let's check out to main, and then I can create a branch. So I create the Python branch. Branch, create branch. I will call it Python. So Python. Now I want to have a Python hello world. And I will do a test first. So I create a failing build now, which usually you should not do it in CI/CD system, but GitLab-ci examples. I can use the templates, which makes it easier. I will use this template. Inside the editor, you can browse templates. And let's see, I want to do Python. I can browse this one, and am I able to add? No, I just can browse them. Do I have a Python template? That's here. So, what do I need to do? I will have another build, and I will call this build Python build. Python hello world. At stage, I will create a new stage for this one, I guess. Do I have stage, build, test, deploy? Stage, languages. I'm not sure if I have this three. And it's going to use image. The image is called, what was the image? Here it was Python latest. Image Python latest. In stage languages. I'm not sure which way it should be around. And we're gonna have a script. And the script going to call the Python stuff. What do we have at this one? Maybe we just run Python minus version as a first ID. What run? So now I can use visualize. View tab lint for more details. I don't have tab lint. But finally I did something wrong. Am I allowed to have dashes here? The stage does not exist. Maybe I need to define it. Stages. Build. It added real-time validation of it. I've got build, test, deploy. Now it's correct, but I want to have languages first. I want faster feedback of it. Now it seems to correct. Now I can visualize. I've got the Python hello world here. And actually this new editor makes it a lot more easier. Now I call it edit Python. and I had a wrong branch. I don't want it in branch. This one. I want it in branch Python. Which makes a problem for me. So let's see if I can switch the branch. I've got the Python switch branches. Yeah, I copied and pasted to the other branch, which makes it easier. So I got my Python hello world, and I think initial check-in, edit Python hello world job. Stage does not exist. I forgot to copy the stages, and I will add stages here, stages, languages. That was test, build, deploy. So now I can commit my changes and see syntax is correct. Oh, okay. That makes it a bit difficult to edit at this point. Pipeline hello world job. It seems running. Let's see what the result of it is. So there's a very cool new feature which is real-time validation, and at this point I have Python running and see how my Python job is going, and Python hello world is already executing, and it says Python version 3.10. So maybe we should add the code for executing Python at the time. And I will go back to the CI/CD editor, which has, I don't want the main branch, I want my Python branch. And let's see what they suggest for doing it. So they suggest like do some stuff before, like checking Python version, pip install, and they suggest some cache for this job. So let's have a look what we need of this. And we're gonna put this one into the Python hello world section, as it's only needed for Python and not for the other stuff. So Python pip install source venv bin activate. I'm not sure, this seems to be a Python command. And then the script which is called is Python setup pi. I'm completely do not know what flake 8 is. I will have a look like what is pip run Python hello world. I just want to have a hello world editor in Python. Constant what do they use for running it? Okay, run Python script Linux. This one is you just write Python instead. Python. I don't have Python. I will just install it with apt-get. Python. Python 3. Yeah, I will put input password. This this one is Python 3. So let's see if this hello world script needs anything special. So I can create it. Python tutorial. Oh, well, there's nothing special. Let's check it on this echo. Let's see if this works. So, it does not work that way. I will just create the file by hand or I'm actually doing Python now, but I don't know anything about it. Hello world. And what we are doing at the moment, for those who just joined, is creating a CI/CD pipeline in GitLab. Python pass-through script. Yeah, thanks. I need to integrate my chat better. Just to verify it, Python 3 hello dot Python. Hello world. This one seems working. I will copy this one and create a new. Let's see how to create this one. Let's build it in the stage first. So we get this Python stage and we can run. This one is the correct one. It's committed at this point, and I wanted to run the Python script. And for this one, I will run Python dot slash hello dot Python. So running the hello world. And at this point, I will make it fail. A running world with hello command, invalid jobs. I will this one. This one is wrong. Syntax is correct. Let's see what's wrong. I like everybody's participating in this session. Maybe I should move it to a repository which is public available. Commit changes. And now I can check the pipeline if it's running or not. At least I did not see a failure at this point. And now it's about test-driven CI/CD engineering, as I created a test which is failing. My internet is going to be lazy at the moment. Python hello world already failed because of can't open file python hello.py. So what I need to do now is create a Python file, and here I need to see which branch do I have. It's hard to see which branch I have. Actually, I have a terminal inside the gitpod shell as well, and I can configure my dependencies, but I don't want to do two things at one time. So Explorer, which branch do I have? I don't know. It's some disadvantage of gitpod. Can it see its branch? Source control. Python. I'm already in Python again, I think. So inside Python, I will create a directory called Python. And how was the file called? I was missing. And I think this file was called. What's it's calling? Python/hello.py, and I will create this file now. And let's write this hello world statement inside this file. And now my gitpod is recommending me to install the Python extension, and I will just do it at this point. I will install it. Install. I got this web-based stuff here, and let's check what we did. We have this Python py, and I will write down add Python hello world. So commit. I need to. This one is staged. Commit. Now I need to sync it. It will push everything to origin Python, and it says, Now I created a merge conflict. That's live. So actually in gitpod you need to pull, and I think I did not pull the changes. I will try to do it now, because this one is not like online editing, it's like a real IDE. So pull. So now I need to sort out how to solve the merge conflict. Okay, open git log. So this one I don't want to see. Merge conflicts in gitpod. I didn't expect to struggle into it, but we're gonna solve it. Yes, that's what I want to do. cancel. And now I will do like source control commit. No, I don't want an empty commit. Pull. I cannot pull it because it has like some changes. Do I have to merge? Do I have merge options here? Any idea how to solve it? Usually I would create commit all, abort rebase. I can use command line, I guess. Terminal. I rebased, yeah, and now I can commit it again. Rebase is setting the Git repository back to the point where you started to to get the last successful branch and then add your commits after it. There's discussions about if rebase is the right thing, but at this point it was the easiest thing. And now let's have a look. Pipelines. It's running. And we're gonna see if it's going to be successful. What is your thoughts? Do you think we're gonna be successful at this point? So at this point, it seems executed after the scripts, we are running our hello world in Python. And at this point, we could add other Python stuff, and maybe we could refactor it a bit. As I see, we added some more stuff to GitLab-ci, which might be not needed. And this is like actually the cache, as we don't use pip. We just run the Python script and let's minimize it a bit to have the most easy stuff. And here it's noticed. I don't know what it's wrong. Python version. It's very strict about it. Wrong intention. This one is correct now. So I minimize Python a bit, the Python example, and let's check if everything is correct now. Let's add this one to the commit and minimize call now we are able to run a Python script inside our GitLab. Of course, at this point, it would be a lot more useful to run, for example, Python tests, or this one is passed. We can see if the next one is passed as well. Let's sync the changes. It's running, and Python hello world seems to be okay. And actually, it might be a good point for a short break or a short recap. What did we make? What did we reach so far? So we have a script using gitlab-ci to execute stuff, and at this point we created an example using the shell, and we created like two branches. One is creating a file, and the next one, which was a special request from my watchers, it is like running a Python script, just running hello world. And this is some simple example of how to use gitlab-ci. You are also able to access variables of gitlab-ci inside it. And there we want to have a look. CI documentation, variables, which predefined variables could be used and which are probably interesting. And I'm gonna go back for this one to my my other script or my other branch, which is like the minimized Python call is running. I had another branch which was called the create text file. I create a new branch from main, which is having the variables. And for this one, I can go to repository, and I have branches here. And actually, this is a good one to create merge request. I can create a new branch, and this one will be from main, and I will call it variables or predefined variables. And this branch, I'm gonna show predefined variables, and I used to edit it in the pipeline editor again. This one, it's faster. So, and I will call this hello. I will call it variables. And this one has like stage, I will do it at build, and it has like, I will just use echo to give them back, and I need GitLab predefined variables, so I will close everything right of it. We got this predefined variables, and the first one is job stage, which could be interesting. Then we have an interesting variable, which is we get the predefined CI/CD variables, and I'm gonna put this in my documentation. If you use chat-ops, which is interesting also, you have certain variables, and you can have a commit char, commit reference, slug, a commit message is interesting. You can use CI commit message. What else do we have? I think interesting is CI runner, GitLab username. And now it's enough, so I can edit and make it run. So edit variable branch with predefined. Let's see if it's running. It has run successfully, so I can see the update here. And let's see what the output was. The output was nothing, as I did something wrong. Yeah, variables is the keyword in variables is also a keyword in GitLab, so I cannot use it as a job name, which is a trick, and I did not use the script tag. So I will call this show variables. As it is, or show vars. As it is easier to understand. One with predefined variables, and now let's check what's the result of it. So the result is running. Now it's running. So actually I'm coding some exercises for my GitLab course. And at this point I was using variables inside my GitLab build. And I will check if my pipelines were running at this moment. And it seems my mouse button does not work anymore. Show was, let's see the result of it. GitLab user John Behrens, oh, that's me. Commit message with predefined variables, and job stage is built. So that seems working, and you could add more variables at this point. So I got another example inside my script. And let's have a bit recap. What did I do so far? Add last committer's name. I don't have this one. GitLab user. Do I have last commit? CI server. Project description, project title, project name. Job. Commit char, commit title, commit ref name, commit author. Oh, that's also possible. So commit author. I will make my task a bit easier. Committers author. That is a nice task for it. So I got different things now. Let's have a bit. Let's have a look of what I did today and have a short summary of it, so I can record it. I created this CI/CD pipeline, and I created 3 tasks, and I stored them in different branches. And actually, I can see the branches inside my repository. Under branches, and let's look what I did. The basic branch was easy. It was a shell script, and inside the shell script I had like different jobs. One was build, hello test2, and deploy, and those were pretty easy example tasks to execute. What did I do then? And what I did then was creating another branch, and my first branch was create branch for creating a text file. And for creating a text file, I used basic shell commands, and the basic shell commands was in create file. I can see I can show it here what was running by gitlab-ci file. First was touching a build file txt, then this file was being edited, and build is running was added, and then we added a date to the file, and finally we added an artifact section, so you can actually browse the file as an artifact as it's stored. The next branch was Python hello world, and I like that one, which it's configured in gitlab-ci, running a hello world in Python. Here we see this hello world. If we watch at our gitlab-ci file, it was pretty easy in this section, in this Python section. It was like calling in Python image the Python latest, then we show the version and use the Python command to execute hello.py, which is a simple hello world script. And finally, we did the last exercise, and the last exercise was predefined variables. And those predefined variables can be called inside a GitLab script, gitlab-ci script, and we use the variables job stage, commit message, and GitLab user. Of course, we can combine this now with, for example, writing to a text file, with building conditions on it, or with writing it to any log file. So that was a very basic set of gitlab-ci, how to use GitLab-ci with your bash. And thanks at this point to the live watchers who actually did some specific tips to it. You can do a lot more complicated stuff with GitLab-ci, and this should be a good overview for all beginners starting GitLab-ci and using it. Thank you for watching today, and at this point I'm gonna stop the record. If you want to see more, you can find me at Skills for Teams on my Twitch channel, on my YouTube account, and I also do some TikTok videos. Maybe I get a fresh TikTok video about GitLab-ci, which I recorded today, and you can check it. And we're gonna see each other maybe at our next stream where I do other stuff.